was 9 years old the morning it happened. My parents had both left for work and the house was mine for a few hours. It was summer, and I remember the sunlight streaming through the curtains, making everything feel safe, ordinary. I had just finished a shower, brushed my teeth and dressed in my favorite outfit, a pale yellow t-shirt with a faded cartoon print and soft blue shorts. I even set up a little movie area for myself in the living room, a juice box, some cookies, and the TV remote carefully placed in the middle of the rug. It was going to be a perfect quiet morning. Then the phone rang. It was the old landline in the hallway, the one mounted on the wall with the long curly cord. I hesitated, because my mom usually told me not to answer when I was alone. But the sound kept echoing through the house, and after a few rings, my childish curiosity got the better of me. I picked it up. The voice on the other end was warm, familiar, like a friend or a distant uncle I couldn't quite place. He asked me how my day was going, what I'd eaten for breakfast. He even laughed softly when I told him I was about to watch cartoons. At 9 years old, I didn't think much of it. It felt harmless, safe. Then his tone shifted. He said suddenly,
I like your shirt. Yellow looks so nice on you.
I froze. My eyes darted down at my shirt. He added,
You look so cute sitting there. What is your favorite color? I think your favorite color is yellow. Am I right in saying that it is not so?
I went stiff all over, my throat dry. He was describing me, what I was wearing, how I looked. I tried to stay calm. No. Blue is my favorite, I said, my voice barely above a whisper. He chuckled, and that chuckle melted into something else, something jagged, broken. The voice grew deeper, raspier, like sandpaper against metal. And then, in grotesque detail, he began to describe what he wanted to do to me. Things no 9-year-old should ever hear. Things no human should ever say. My skin burned hot. My heart hammered so loud I thought he could hear it through the phone. I slammed the receiver down so hard it rattled the cradle. My hands were shaking uncontrollably. The phone rang again, and again, and again. I couldn't breathe. I ran to the curtains and yanked them closed, convinced that eyes were peering through every window. The ringing filled the whole house like a scream that wouldn't stop. I called my mom at work, babbling and crying, trying to explain. He's watching me, I sobbed. He knows what I'm wearing. He said he's going to hurt me. But my mom didn't understand. She scolded me for answering in the first place. She told me to calm down, to just ignore the phone and watch TV. Her voice was annoyed, almost dismissive, and it made me feel small, helpless. But I couldn't ignore it. The phone wouldn't stop. Finally, I waited for a brief pause in the endless ringing and dialed 911 with trembling fingers. The operator's voice was gentle, grounding. I told her everything, blurting out the words between gasps. Someone's watching me. He said he's going to kill me. I'm home alone. I'm only 9. She tried to soothe me, promising that officers were on the way. But in that moment, standing in my living room, I felt every horror movie nightmare folding in around me. Was he at the back door with a knife? Hiding in the garage? A shadow behind the curtains? I panicked and pressed the alarm button near the kitchen. The house erupted with shrieking sirens. I bolted outside barefoot, heart slamming. The world outside felt like stepping into another universe. The sun was shining. Birds were singing. A neighbor was pushing his toddler on a swing. The ordinary sounds of summer clashed so violently with the terror still clawing at my chest that I thought I might collapse. The neighbor noticed me, trembling and pale, and let me stand close to him until the police came. When the squad car finally pulled up, it felt like hours had passed. I explained to the officer as best as I could, but the words felt dirty in my mouth. Things too awful for a child to repeat. Not long after, my mom came home. She didn't hug me, didn't comfort me. She walked calmly to the officer and spoke to him almost casually. And then I saw it. She laughed. She laughed while I stood there with swollen eyes, my whole body still on fire with fear. I crept closer, straining to hear. She told the officer,
"Oh, I'm sorry, officer, about this. She's just a nervous kid. She must have overreacted."
Overreacted. My chest tightened, my vision blurred. Did I imagine it? Did I do something wrong? The memory after that is fuzzy. I only know that nothing was ever investigated. My mom decided it must have been a neighborhood boy playing a prank, someone my age, which I knew was impossible. Years later, as an adult with my own kids, I still don't know who that voice belonged to, but I'll never forget what happened one Christmas. I had stepped into the hallway when I heard my mother's laughter coming from the living room. She was telling a story, my story. She told it like it was some funny childhood anecdote, the tale of her silly daughter panicking over nothing. But the faces of my relatives weren't laughing. They looked uneasy, disturbed. Some couldn't even make eye contact with me. And in that moment, I realized, for everyone else, it was just a story. For me, it was the day the phone became a weapon. To this day, I can't hear a phone ring without my skin crawling. Because I know, somewhere out there, the man on the line is still waiting.
If you like this video, please like, share comments, and subscribe my channel for more interesting and horror stories.